fans out there? Like, you see a lot of women, because you're in Gaspari ads, a lot of women see you in the ads. Like, what advice do you have for fans who want to be in your position? Because I get that a lot on HARDBODY. Like, I want to be sponsored. There's a lot of women that want to be like you. And I mean, you've gone a number of different routes, but I mean, you ended up here on the pro stage.
Yeah.
So is there anything along the way that like stands out to you that was like a pivotal moment where you're like, this is where it changed my life?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I really like the NPC and IFBB. Like, I think that's just really the route. If you really want the most publicity, if you want to be to the most prestigious shows, that's really the avenue you have to take. And you're going to compete against the best in the world. So and that's where the sponsors are really going to see you. I mean, that's just my opinion because I have gone a couple different ways.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point because you've competed in other organizations.
Yeah.
So what was it that made you go from the other organizations back to the NPC and then ultimately the IFBB? I mean, was it the sponsorship or the magazines or a combination?
Well, it's the sponsorship. Like Gaspari, everyone, Rich Gaspari's an IFBB Hall of Famer, and there's just it's a really tight knit family. And so he's like, let's go back to the NPC, and I'm like, fine, that's great. And I felt I could be competitive as a natural athlete on the stage and do a good job at this point in time. So it was like a great timing. Rich is like, let's get back on the NPC stage and let's turn pro. And I'm like, let's do it.
And that's one thing, I guess, with Gaspari, they treat their sponsored athletes like athletes. So you're featured and you did a DVD, is that right?
I did the Sport a Figure DVD, and it's great. They chronicled like just kind of me as a person in my life and my philosophies and who I am as a person, because you can see you can see this, and this isn't going to get you far. You need to have a lot of other things going on, that people can relate to. I feel that's been my success. It's not my hair or, it is coming in shape, but it's what do you have to offer that other people can learn from? How do you get in shape? What are your philosophies? I think you have to go to another level, honestly.
And you've done a lot of photo shoots. So for new girls out there, what advice in regards to shooting and what have you learned or what would you advise against? I mean, any advice for photo shoots and women, because that's where a lot of people see you first and foremost.
Yeah, I always learn the hard way. My whole life has been that way. So of course I started out too sexy. I was like feeling good about myself. I got in shape, and photographers will say do this. If you want to be taken seriously, you have to present yourself seriously. And if you want women to not be kind of like, what is she doing? You want to hold yourself with respect, and people are attracted to that. I think you just shouldn't do too sexy photo shoots. I just don't.
What's too sexy for you then? Like, looking back, you'd be like, I probably wouldn't do that now.
My Johnny Crossland pictures, they're really sexy. And I didn't realize it until I saw the pictures. I'm on the inside. And then on the outside, I'm like, whoa, And it's just, lesson learned. That's, how life is. And I just think it's just, I have so much more to offer as a person than I'm a hot chick. Who cares?
So do you think those photos maybe have pigeonholed you as like you're the hot chick versus like the athletes and more behind just the hot pictures?
In the beginning, not now, because now I have a voice.
Right.
Yeah, for sure it pigeonholed me. And if you want to be taken seriously, and if people are going to spend their money on supplementation and they're going to spend money on products to see what you do to get in shape, it's like, how can they take a girl seriously when she's almost all the way naked?
So hindsight, if you were to do it all, but don't you think that may have helped put you on the map and then gave you a position to then tell your voice?
It worked for me. I mean, for me, it was like, whoa, who's that? But then I did get stuck there, and I did want to be taken seriously. And in order to get that sponsorship, you have to be a voice for women. I mean, that's who you're selling products to. So
that's where like the turning point, you went from sexy girl to them being a voice, like more as an athlete and competitor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So goals for tonight. It's your first pro show. Well, before we go for the goals, like what's going through your head? Like, a lot of women will never be in your shoes. A lot of women want to be in your shoes. You'll never have this moment again because you only have one debut. Like, how are you feeling? Like, are you nervous? You anxious?
That makes me like emotional because it's like I think because of the life that I've had, experiences like this, I'm so extremely grateful. You have no idea. Like, I lay in bed and I'm like, thank you, God, thank you for letting me have this opportunity. And it's not some like, oh, rah, 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 look at me. I just feel like thank you for letting me showcase my hard work, because that's, I feel like, my best quality is that I'm a hard worker.
So tonight, goal for the show, like where will you end up and you'd be satisfied? I mean, obviously, it's like you're happy to be here, but beyond being happy to be here.
You know what? I don't even care, because I know I'm in the best shape. I know I've done the job. I know I've done the work. And wherever someone positions me, it doesn't matter, because at the end, I did the best I could.
So if,
I know that sounds like, I know, of course, who doesn't want to win first? I could use the money, but I'm just saying really genuinely, because if you put yourself in a position where you have to have first and you leave, you're destroyed.
so we won't see it. I mean, worst case scenario, we see you tied for 16th.
Right.
We're not going to see you going on a board and saying, I'm leaving for another organization.
No, you know what I'm going to say? Thank God I have a job.
And what is your job?
I'm with Gaspari. I mean, you know.
So that's what you're doing full time.
Oh, yeah, I'm a sponsored athlete, yeah.
But so sponsored athlete to some, though, is like free supplements
Yeah.
and you get a nice warm-up jacket. So as a sponsored athlete with Gaspari now affords you the opportunities to do a lot of other things.
It affords me an opportunity to train like a professional athlete, like I have to do it. So now I get the supplements, of course, but I travel with them. I do appearances, photo shoots, and, you know, I'm their female spokesmodel. So, yes.
That's
athlete.
awesome. So in closing, what's the favorites Gaspari? Because I've had, what is it, the Intra Pro?
Okay.
Good. But what's your favorite supplement?
Okay, when I'm dieting, I have to have chocolate myofusion because it saves my life. I can eat it raw out of the thing.
Really?
Love it.
No water. Just chug it down.
I can put it, I mean, and it's awesome. But for like building size on maximum performance when you're off season, it gives me such an edge, and I can just keep training. And it's great for recovery.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Ava, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
You look gorgeous. Your abs are in, and her whole physique is on. She feels her best. Your pro debut.
Yay!
Have fun.
Okay.
For Money Mark behind the camera, Ava Cowan with Gaspari. I'm Isaac, and we're out.